Welcome back. So this afternoon I'm going to do some paranormal videos. But before I start that, I just want to tell you a little bit of what's happened to me today, which is really strange. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and I hope you have a fabulous day with your families, your kids, wives, grandfathers, uncles, whatever. Anyway, this is my second Father's Day without my dad. Now, last year, my dad passed away at the end of May. So Father's Day last year was a bit of a blur. There was still a lot of emotions going on, and still a lot of, people, sending condolences and stuff like that. So Father's Day just kind of came and went, and we didn't really think about it. But this year, it hit home a little more for me. And, besides telling my dad Happy Father's Day in my own way, it's weird. It's really weird. So today I had to go to the store for my mother this morning. Okay. So my mother was still sleeping. My sister was up, and I decided to go to the store. So I went to the store. I came back, put everything away, and I came up into my room, and I was just watching TV, chilling. And I hear my sister yelling my name. So I'm like, what does she want, So I jumped up and I ran downstairs because I thought it was an emergency. She actually was like screaming my name. I go down and she's at the sink. And I said, well, what did you want? And she goes, what are you talking about? I go, did you call me? She said, no. Now, the funny thing about this is when I went downstairs to see what she wanted, I got to the bottom of the stairs and I heard somebody running down after me. And there's nobody there. This is a true story. This happened to me today. Okay? I actually saw the railing. Like, my mother has like an iron railing kind of thing, and it's a bit old, so it's a bit creaky, right? I actually saw it move. And I don't hang on to the railing when I come down the stairs. It's just a really freaky thing. So I went into the kitchen, asked her if she called me. She said no, she didn't call me. And she goes, that's funny you asked. She goes, because I thought you called me earlier. So now my dad was a bit of a prankster. He was one of those people that if my mother was lazing around having, lazy day, she didn't want to do anything, whatever. My dad would look out the window and tell my mother there was company coming. And my mother would jump up like, oh my God, the house is a mess, blah, 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 right? Meanwhile, there was nobody there. And when this all happened to me today, I looked at my sister and I said, I think Dad made a bit of appearance today for us, as it was funny. It was funny. It didn't make me sad in the least. It didn't make me scared in the least. It just made me chuckle a little bit, right? So, okay, that's my story. Let's get on with it. So, I got 3 different videos I want to show you guys. And one of them is of a popular rug lord. Pablo Escobar. Okay, watch this. So this is Pablo Escobar's building. In the round circle, you will see something running back and forth. There it is. Did you see it? Watch closely. There goes the building. That's Pablo Escobar. There's the rubble of the building. So they were demolishing his building that he owned. He owned this whole building. He lived in this whole building by himself. Well, not by himself, but with his family, whatever. And they were demolishing it because they didn't want to leave remnants of this guy in their community. And I totally understand, right? But did you see the thing running around in there like, what are you doing? What are you doing with my building? This is my building. That's how I took that, right? Like, he's like freaking out. What are you doing with my building, right? But now I'm like, okay, building's gone. Pretty sure the spirit's not. So whatever they build on top of that site, he's going to be there. So if I were them, I'd think twice about what you're building there, for one thing. I mean, don't build a school or anything like that. You know what I mean? Just, And here's another one. Now, this one is more of it's a photo, not a video. So watch this. Now, I know a lot of my viewers are like, 60s babies, 70s babies, and some a little bit older, right? We all know who Jim Morrison is, right? The Doors, right? That's Jim Morrison's ghost in front of his tomb. And a tourist was taking photos of the man you see in the picture, and that was in the background. And that's exactly where Jim Morrison's buried. Right there. So see, it does really make you wonder about the other side, right? So people, we may be gone from the view of this world, but now we are in another realm, right? So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the, what's the word now? Not realms. Brain fart again. But the different levels of reality. And they say, you're this person in this reality, but in the other reality, you could be a doctor, a lawyer, you could be a musician, you could be whatever, right? Depending on the different choices we make in life, tends us on different paths. So I may make a choice today to make this video, but in another world, I'm making that choice not to, which will send me on a different path. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very complex dialogue. So one day we will get into it, and I was going to do a live today, but I just really didn't have the time to, because I was up and down with my mom and everything. But next time I make a live, I think this is what we'll bring up. I have a few people that are viewers of mine that are really into this kind of stuff, and maybe they will want to be on my panel and help me out here a little bit. But we can discuss some of these things in a future date. Okay? Now, there is this other video I want to show you.
Tyler, when you arrived on scene, what did you do?
We heard something saying, help us inside. And so it was at that point that we, said we have to get in that car now. And we all, the four of us, were able to push the car on its side. And that's when I looked inside and was able to see the child infant strapped in the back seat.
So you actually heard a voice calling out, help me. Do you know who that was?
At first we didn't know if it was someone inside the car, if it was what that voice was. We assumed, or I assumed, that it was someone in the car saying, help me. That's why we responded saying, we're trying, we're going to get inside and help you, we're doing the best we can. And that was just extra motivation and to get inside the car and figure out who was in there. It wasn't until after we flipped it that we saw the mother, who we know now was deceased at the time, and the child was in the back seat. So it wasn't until after the early process, and we got together and we all heard the same, voice.
And Jared, you heard that voice as well?
Yes, I did. Like Officer Beddoes has said, more than one of us, of the four officers that were there, responded back saying we're here to help.
Now, maybe I should have gave you dialogue before I showed you the video, but this lady and her baby got in a car crash and went over into a ditch, a very big one, with water. And the car flipped over, so it was on its roof. This lady's baby, which was I think 18 months old, was strapped in her car seat, and strapped in good, might I add. The mother passed away. But somebody from the road, they saw the car, and they just kind of stopped to look, and they heard, help my baby. Help my baby. And they got out, and that's when they realized there was people in this car. So they called paramedics and the police and all that. And the paramedics and the police both heard the same thing. Help my baby. That baby was hanging upside down in that car for, oh gosh, I can't remember what they said, 15 hours, if not more. Her head that far away from running water. And she lived. She had a little bit of hypothermia, but she lived. Just goes to show you, sometimes when you think you're gone, maybe you're not just there yet. You're still here long enough to send that very important message that you need to get out. Now that's a real mother. Thanks for watching my video for this afternoon, guys. Please like and subscribe. It helps me in the algorithm so much. And if you really like our paranormal segments, give me a holler down in the comments and I'll do more. Bye, guys.